Warning. The following video contains strong language that some viewers may find offensive or disturbing.
What's it like having loving parents? Especially my mom told and still tells me that she loves me nearly every time we see each other. As another Redditor said, it's the knowledge that they will always have my back. They don't tell me they are happy or mad with my life choices, but tell me that I am the one who need to live with them, and as long as I am happy. They are too. They weren't perfect though, but they were able to apologize when they realized they deeply hurt me. They always explained their parenting choices, and I never once in my life heard the famous, "my house, my rules." And the last thing that is very important to me is that they are absolutely loyal to their kids. Other adults or family members like older cousins or so are mocking me. They would always step in and defend me if I weren't able to. Always took my feelings seriously. I realized in elementary school that this wasn't normal for most of the adults. My dad would always say, "If you fail your exam, I'll make you croissants." I'm super type A and would stress out a lot about tests in high school. But I always knew that no matter what I did in life, my dad would do nothing but love me. You just always feel 100% safe, and that no matter what happens everything will be okay. It makes life way better. You don't have to seek companionship outside of your family as much because you already got that loved feeling from your family. Basically, you rarely feel alone when you have loving parents, family. It's safe to take risks. They'll catch you. "Ma, I broke your favorite flask." "Oh dear. It is all right. It lasted a long time." "Wait. Are you not angry? You really liked that flask." "No. A bit sad but not angry. People make mistakes, son. That is how life is. Nothing is perfect, and seriously, I was thinking of buying a new one and you gave me a great excuse. I love you, Ma." This. I remember putting dishes away as a child, and as I went to put a big platter away, it slipped and broke into many pieces. I instantly started crying and felt horrible for breaking it. I mean, it matched the dinnerware set and everything. My mom comes in confused as to why I'm crying. She asks if I broke it on purpose. I, still crying and apologizing, say no, and she says, "Okay, a platter is just a thing and you didn't break it on purpose. So being mad at you wouldn't make any sense. You were trying to help and it was an accident. I'll buy another one." That moment really stuck with me. I had a loving mom, but a very shitty dad. My mom supported me through all my school. Would go to different stores to get me supplies for my projects. She'd try to read the same books I had to so she could engage in critical thinking discussions. Attended my sporting events and cheered me on. Would lay in bed with me after I'd have a nightmare and run her fingers through my hair till I fell asleep. Would constantly reassure me that I was capable of pursuing my dreams. She made sure to tell me she loved me every day and give me hugs frequently. She's an amazing woman and I'm so grateful I have her. I'm not sure about loving parents, but I know about a loving parent. My mom is my hero. She shows me what love is. About 12 years ago, my father was deported and left behind 5 kids. I, being 12, was the oldest. With both parents being immigrants, it wasn't always easy to find houses to live in or find jobs. My father was the only source of income, so when he got deported we really did not know what to expect. I saw a side of my mom I never knew existed. She started selling tamales and working a few jobs here and there just to make ends meet. We had to live in a garage. We had to live in a single room. Try putting 6 people in a single room. Through it all, my mother never complained and I never saw her cry. We suffered for years and still do. But not as much compared to back then. I work and help out as much as I can, and now 2 of my siblings work and help her out. But regardless, she is still working 6 days a week, and so am I. This is what having a loving parent is like. A parent who will go through hell just to make ends meet. Always showing us love no matter how hard it got. Best way I can describe it is just a general feeling of security. Just knowing that they're behind you 100%. And even when they're mad at you, it's almost always because they're trying to help you in the long run. It's not something you really appreciate until you get older and start to notice kids around you that have to deal with some pretty fucked up shit from their parents. It's kind of slowly realizing how many bad things you've just never had to worry about thanks to your support system. And the best part is how your relationship changes as you get older. When they slowly start treating you like a fellow adult, and you get to see them as more of a whole person. This is real. Didn't realize how fucked my family was until I got out of college. I'm grateful for my parents of course, but after seeing how my boyfriend's family talk and treat him versus how my sisters and I are treated by our parents, it's like night and day. I slowly started to see it more in everything from my diet to how politics are treated to how mental health stability is treated. I know it could have been worse. But I know exactly how I'm gonna raise my kids differently now. I feel bad because from the phraseology of this question it sounds like you don't. But I'm not going to lie to you. It's incredible. I was born to two loving parents who waited until they were well off financially to have children. The only struggle I've ever had in my life is with depression, genetic, hereditary. Nothing I can really do about it. I'm in college now. My parents pay for my expensive university with all their heart. They go out of their way to do little things to make me happy. My mom will surprise me with takeout from my favorite restaurant. My dad will surprise me with basketball tickets or take me to see a movie. We have arguments, but it's 99% of the time over little things that we don't remember 10 minutes later. And it rarely happens. We operate as a family. Make decisions as a family. Like every important decision I make is not all on me. It's as a family. So it's low risk, high reward. A big part of parents being loving is parents being responsible. And my parents have always been responsible adults. I think it's a special kind of cruel when a child loses the strong image of parents. Or they never had it in the first place. I view my parents as strong figures. Anchors. They have their moments of weakness but overwhelmingly are always strong. I only hope to continue this and be an even better parent to my eventual kids. I have loving parents and am an adult. They are not perfect. I've got baggage. We've all made mistakes in our relationship. I was never abused in any way. As an adult, I have a very good relationship with them. Maybe the big thing is that we can forgive each other easily for the errors of our past. Now it's more like having very good friends than patents. And the roles are changing as I give more advice than I receive these days. I'm 25, nearly 26. My parents were incredible growing up. And they still are. I grew up middle class. Never extravagantly wealthy or anything. But we never had to worry about where our next meal was coming from. My mom is a pretty tough lady. She's a third-generation Italian immigrant and grew up on the Hill Street, Lewis's Italian neighborhood. She kept us, my brother, sister and I, in line and was never very sentimental. But she always cared for us and stuck up for us. My dad is one of 6 siblings. He's the second oldest. He is a very caring, sentimental guy. He's 62 and retired now. But he worked as an information technology project manager for Anheuser-Busch and made good money. They both provided well for us, gave us what we needed and were fair in their discipline when they needed to be. I realize at my age now that they sacrificed a lot along the way, taking us to soccer and baseball games, dropping us off and picking us up from school every day, dealing with our being whiny and annoying. All kinds of stuff. I suppose I really did have the sort of classic American dream childhood, and I think I've always taken it for granted. What was it like? Op asks. It was nice. It was comfortable when it needed to be and challenging when appropriate. I live on my own now and I'm going over to see them for Father's Day today. I may mention a word of thanks for giving me a pretty nice life. The most beautiful part is watching your parents love each other. Didn't even see how this would be valuable until I became an adult and learned that not everyone gets to grow up seeing healthy love. This plays an important factor in the relationships I have, and it's the reason why I'm glad to say I'm a healthy so. Whenever I hear about people I know in abusive and toxic relationships, the first thing I always ask is how were their parents' relationship? Trauma is a real and unfortunate learning mechanism. Exactly. Watching my parents with each other taught me how to love. As a child, I used to be a little jealous of how close they were to each other. Of how much love they had for each other. I wanted them to always put me first. I see now that in nurturing their love for each other, they created a stable foundation for me and my siblings to grow and thrive. They are certainly not perfect, but they are a shining example of what I hope my life with my partner can someday be. It is wonderful to deep down never doubt their love. They always made me feel that even if they didn't approve of something I did as a kid, they didn't disapprove of me. I miss them dearly. Amazing. My mother is the most loving and caring mother you could ask for. I am 30, but still close as hell with my mum. Visit every weekend and help her with the DIY side of things in her home. She's slowly going blind, which is heartbreaking to watch her struggle with day-to-day life. Once she's completely blind, I'm leaving my job to help look after her as much as I can. She gave me and my siblings the best upbringing she could have given us. So I have to repay her. So yeah, it's great having loving parents. You will do anything for each other. As I've 40 gotten older, my views on this kind of question have shifted significantly. I thought I understood what loving caring parents were, and that mine were pretty good but not great. Since I've met my F45 parents, I truly understand what a caring parent is and that mine never were. I grew up in a quite racist household with parents that only did things that were interesting to them, even though I repeatedly said I did not want to do them. My father for the majority of my life made a joke that he was out of town. Whenever anything related to me came up, good, bad, or neutral, I have no interest in speaking to either of my parents. Although my mom calls about once every couple of weeks and tells me that I am not being fair to them and that I need to let the past go. I have come to dislike my parents and cannot remember a time when I felt mutual respect. So's parents are not perfect. There are several times that there have been disagreements, but I have never not felt mutual respect. They are willing to ask for their child's and my help when needed. They try to plan outings that include all of us and make significant effort to understand. I have found in her parents what I always wanted from mine. I told my mom that my office is opening back up again and asked her to make me a few masks. And she's made 10. When we were little, she would read to us in bed. Our friends' parents didn't buy groceries, just gave them a food allowance, which the kids spent at the gas station. So there was never any fruit at their house. My mom bought my friends' favorite apples for her. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. See you next time.